Did you ever wonder who the best teen in Blue Lock is? What about the best 20-year-old, or even better, who the best player over the age of 30? Well, in today's video, I'll be picking the best players from each age group, starting off with the youngest all the way to the oldest. So let's kick things off by choosing the best 15-year-old in the show. Now, as you can probably guess, there aren't many 15-year-olds in Blue Lock. In fact, there's only one, Charles Chevalier. You see, some fans may think that Nico, Nanase, and even Naruhaya are at this age range as well, but that's not the case. Seeing as all three of these players were 15 when the Blue Lock project started, but after a couple of chapters, they all aged up by 1 year, so at the time of recording this, they're all 16. So technically, that leaves Charles as the only true 15-year-old right now. But let's be clear, Charles didn't need to win by default. Even if he had competition, he'd still come out on top. Charles is easily better than most players older than him, which is quite impressive if you ask me. Even the fact that he has metavision at such a young age when other characters only figure out this ability when they were 19! Aiku. He's also a talented learner, and if Loki trusts your talent so much to go out of his way to nurture it, then you have to be the best. That's one category down, 6 more to go. Let's carry on by choosing the best 16-year-old in Blue Lock. Unlike the 15-year-old age range, 16 has quite a few good players, such as Corona or even Nanase. Both have shown flashes of how dangerous they can be. Nanase, for example, has a similar weapon as the best striker in the world. Perfect ambidexterity with both feet. He's used it countless times to support Rin, especially in the match against Bastard München. Similarly, Corona did the same for Isagi in this exact match, even going as far as to be recognized by Noel Noah. Not directly, but he did put him on to help the team score more goals, so that must mean he recognizes his talent. However, they're not the best players of this age range because that spot goes to none other than Itoshi Rin. Not only is Rin the best player at age 16, he's literally the best player in the entire Blue Lock project. We're talking about a guy who literally dribbled past the entire Bastard München team and then went, "Let me run that back, it wasn't good enough." Like, what? Even Loki himself thought Rin was absolutely insane to do this. Rin literally turned back and asked all the Bastard players if they've ever risked their lives for football. Bro, it's just soccer, not Warzone, man. Chill out. I don't think there's any doubts about this one. With that category covered, let's move on to the 17-year-olds, where some of the best players in the entire series are. Can you guess who will win this one? But before that, I have a question for you. Have you risked your life to subscribe to your favorite anime YouTuber? If not, offer up your lives and hit that subscribe button. Okay, I'm joking. But seriously, subscribe. When it comes to the 17-year-olds, Bachira and Isagi are the obvious favorites, as they are quite literally monsters among men in this category. Their insane footballing ability puts them among the best players in the whole show, and for good reason. Take Bachira, for example. His dribbling is so crazy that even Lavinho praised his style of play. Not to mention, they're both literally lunatics obsessed with football. Bachira has done things like this, and even sent a fan-favorite character straight out of Blue Lock. Isagi's no stranger to being a football lunatic either, as he literally lost his mind when Kutagami stole his goal. My man was cussing everybody out and definitely backed up all that trash talk by taking over the entire team with the final goal of the NEL. Not to mention, Isagi is one of the highest IQ players in the series, outsmarting players like Rin and even the master strikers. He even stopped Chris Prince's ridiculous knuckleball. There's also Nagi, Ryo, Kunigami, and Chigiri, who could be great candidates for the top spot. But there's still one player I haven't mentioned that blows away every single person in this category. I'm of course talking about the prodigy himself, Julian Loki. This man literally ran faster than a frickin' ball to stop a free kick with his legs. This has to be illegal. Seriously, look at this. One panel he's here while the ball has already been shot. The next he's all the way in the air doing things like this to stop it. Oh, and did I mention he's a master striker? He's the fastest player in the world. Noel Noah himself says Loki is the only real threat to his throne. All of this at just 17 years old. Nothing else needs to be said. Loki is easily the best 17-year-old. In the 18-year-old age group, there really is only 3 options to choose from, if we're being completely honest. But before we reveal who between these 3 holds the title as the best player, let's take some time to look at all the other candidates for this age, because there's actually a a lot of talent here. You have players like Ryu, Yukimiya, Otoya, and even the GOAT himself, Gagamaru. But there is one player that's way better than all of them. I'm talking about Karasu. Now Karasu is an interesting case because upon his introduction, he was regarded among the best strikers in the entire project, even making the top 6 in the 3rd selection. But from then onwards, he kinda had a huge fall off. Being surpassed by Yasagi in terms of being an actual striker, he was relegated to becoming a defensive midfielder, but this is where his talent shined the most. Not only is Karasu great at using his body to get past any opponent, he's also a great leader, which is an important factor for defensive midfielders. He was also revealed to be a talented learner and was even able to block Isagi's 2-gun volley after his whole evolution. But he still falls a little short compared to the 3 top tiers of this category. Before we get to the monster that is Itoshi Sai, let's talk about Shido and Baro. I mean, these two are literally ranked 3rd and 4th in the NEL salary auction, which already tells you the type of players we're dealing with. Shido probably has one of, if not the best goal ever scored in Blue Lock under his belt, and his weapon of sensing where the goal is without even looking at it is just insane. Maru is no pushover either. Not only does he have $150 million offer to join Ubers, he also brought back Snuffy from almost retiring just so he can surpass him. However, Itoshi Sei is just on a whole other level compared to these two. First of all, he's a literal new Gen 11, the best U20 players in the entire Blue Lock world. He's also the same guy that unleashed Shido's insane potential, giving him passes that pushed his imagination to the absolute limit, forcing him to evolve. Not to mention the fact that he wasn't even trying throughout the U20 Japan match and still dominated, even getting a goal for himself. He's literally called Japan's greatest treasure. And although his feats don't quite scale to other new Gen 11s because he hasn't really been able to go all out yet, it's clear that Itoshi Sei is leagues above every player in the 18-year-old age range. The best club in the world wouldn't have signed him if he wasn't. We still have 3 more categories to talk about, so let's move on to the 19-year-olds. In this age group, there are quite a few former Japan U20 players like the Iron Wall Quartet that made it really hard for the Blue Lockers to score, but Reen still turned each of them into pure fodder. There's also Alexis Ness, who is actually a really good contender for first place. Despite being overly reliant on Kaiser, he still has some cool abilities though, like the Skyborn Daisy Cutter, a super clean pass between 2 defenders that hugs the ground while slowly rising up in the air. The pass is so perfect that it doesn't affect the speed of the player meant to receive it, or even his shield flick, but these skills aren't going to help him become the best player in this age group because there are 3 other players in this category that surpass him. Kaiser, Lorenzo, and Aiku are absolute units when it comes to football. Aiku has incredible understanding of the game and exceptional leadership. He's also been shown to possess the insane visual prowess that is Metavision, which gives him an omnipotent perspective of the field, allowing him to make tackles like this and even this. But there's something that Lorenzo and Kaiser have that Aiku doesn't: the title of New Gen 11, so naturally they are ahead of him in this ranking. Between Kaiser and Lorenzo, the decision could really go either way. You could say that Lorenzo is the best player at this age because he single-handedly kept Kaiser quiet throughout their match, and only after Kaiser had escaped Lorenzo's hold momentarily was he able to score this ridiculous goal. However, Kaiser, in my opinion, takes the spot for best 19-year-old for now, simply because he has the highest salary offer in the entire series with a $400 million offer to join Real Madrid and play alongside Itoshi Sei. There is no ways a club like Real Madrid is putting up such high figures for a player that is anything less than the best. Plus, he has a cool neck tattoo, so that gives him brownie points. Before I finally reveal who the best player over the age of 30 is, let's go over the best 20 to 30-year-old. Now, this age range has some of the most mind-boggling, ridiculously talented players in the entire world. Each of them could literally solo every player previously mentioned. Players like Pablo Cavazos, who's known for being a free kick specialist, he's able to make a goal out of any dead ball situation. Not only that, Ego himself handpicked him to be one of the World 5, a group created to show the Blue Lockers the level of the best in the world. There's also players like Adam Blake and Dada Silva, who we know little about, but we can assume that they are extremely strong players. And we also have the Leonardo Luna, who fans theorize to be the guy who destroyed Itoshi Sai's goal to become a striker. He also plays for Real Madrid and looks like he has some ties to Bunny Iglesias, a striker for Barcelona and New Gen World 11. But what if I told you that not even Luna is good enough to even hold a candle to these 2 behemoths in the world of strikers? Chris Prince is regarded as the 2nd best striker in the world, only behind Noel Noah. Noah and has even come second in the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award. Despite all of this, one of his most impressive feats, the illogical knuckleball, was blocked by Isagi. That really hurt his status as one of the best in this age range. But it gets even worse, because even Otoya was able to maneuver past him to score a goal against Manshine. Talk about fraud prince. So I'm giving this category to Levinho. While Isagi was able to stop Chris Prince's shot, he couldn't get near Levinho during the match against Barca, albeit a much weaker Isagi, but still, the way Levinho was portrayed as a god of dribbling, with Noah stating that Levinho is the best in the world at surprising his opponents and leaves every player in a state of total defeat after dribbling past them, tells you everything you need to know. Now, for the best players over the age of 30, as you might imagine, there aren't many players 30 years or older, but the ones that are definitely the best of the best. We obviously have the best striker in the world, Noel Noah, in this category, and the best overall player in Mark Snuffy. But there is one more person you probably forgot. You see, Igo Jinpachi was stated to be Noel Noah's rival, and although he's retired now, in his prime, he was 1000% an extremely strong player. So who is actually the best player over the age of 30? Since the question is who is the best player over the age of 30 and not the best striker, then it has to go to Mark Snuffy. Watch this video where I break down something really cool